last time.
Okay, this thing is just about ready to be reinstalled back onto the truck.
This time!
Now here's a better view of the oil cooler outside of the truck. These 4 bolts right here, I was able to get taken care of with one socket. They're all the same length. All 4 of them are exactly like this. So all 4 of them go over here. I used a 9/16 on this. It's probably metric. I expect maybe more like a 15 or so off the top of my head, but I don't know for sure. I just know that I used 9/16. They weren't super tight, and I wasn't at risk of stripping them out, so I just used the 9/16 anyways. The ones on this side are all different sizes. You're gonna have 2 of them that are this length right here, just like so. They're gonna go in these 2 holes right here. They are both the same length. They both go in those holes. You're gonna have a short one, this size here. This one's gonna go in this hole right here, a little bit tougher to see. And then you have a very long one, this one right here. This one is a messy one to pull out, but this one goes right there. All 4 of these use a 13mm socket on them, and that's what I use to pull them out. So now let's go ahead and do the opposite of pulling it out and put it in. Ooh. Careful, careful. Oh, not getting unnecessary dirt into our freshly cleaned oil cooler system here. Squeeze in there. You're almost there, come on. Oh really, is that all? Okay. I'm currently bumping up against the steering shaft. I'm going to try to get it in here the rest of the way without removing the steering shaft, but removing the steering shaft was definitely a recommendation that was given to me quite a bit in terms of getting this job knocked out and taken care of. But I got the dang thing out without worrying about the steering shaft, so I should be able to get it in, I would think. Oh no. You better not be. You son of a... Okay, yeah, steering shaft is gonna come out.
Exactly 1 fiddle and 1 faddle later.
Alright, I actually got away here. I pulled this thing up and off. Here we are. This thing. It was sitting down there in the end. I pulled it up, and that was mainly what was actually getting in my way earlier, so let's try it again. Okay, that's about all I can do. Okay. Whoop. Okay, I'm getting caught up kind of between the engine mount, the exhaust manifold, and the steering shaft. Gasket still in place. Good, good, good. So if I could just rotate this thing away from the engine bracket, just get it on through. Come on. There we go. That was a tough squeeze. That was something difficult there. I would even go as far as to call that unpleasant. Let me go ahead and make sure there's nothing immediately on our gasket. All right, perfect. Give myself a bolt or 2. Get it held in place. All right, once you get this in, all you got to do is bolt it in. Doesn't take a whole lot of force. Don't give it 20 ooga duggas. Maybe 10. Maybe 9.5. Something like that. Oh. Tightening these things is kind kind of like the typical pattern. You're going to want to kind of do a little bit of a cross pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. I'll do this long one. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down until it seats. I'm going to go ahead and start in a star pattern, tightening the rest of them, or cross pattern I should say. There we go, that's seated. This one next. Alright, this one next. And I really need an extension to get the one that's over there. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this basically the wrist tight plus treatment. There we are. There we are. Okay, probably good to go. Alright, one more just for the sanity check. Here we go. Alright. This side's good. I'm going to do the front. And we're going to see how this goes. Alrighty. Now can I get this up? Uh-oh. Oh, hey, got it back. Cool. Alright. One more up there. That one's going to go a good majority of the way before it needs me. Alright. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now we can let the engine down. Alrighty. Here we have these guys here. These are pretty simple and easy. These two are the engine mount bolts. And I was delighted by how easily they came off earlier. But I feel like they were supposed to be torqued down a bit harder than they were before. These are just going to be 18 millimeter. I got that already installed on the end of a 1/2-inch socket over here. And we're just going to go ahead and give those a tweak until my elbow pops or something like that. And then I think that's pretty safe to say that we are at spec. Right? Be back when that is done. So next up is going to be liquids. Now, one of the more important parts is getting ourselves a nice quality oil filter put on. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting this thing filled up and get liquids to begin to happen here. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do this, lots of different techniques, lots of different recommendations. I like to fill my oil filter up before it goes on the vehicle. That to me makes it seem like we're going to have a bit of a safer startup. I'm going to go ahead and stuff this there. That looks like it'll work. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use the funnel, because why not? There we go. Isn't that fancy? Your oil filter is directly after your oil pump. So whenever your engine picks oil up, it goes into the filter before it is sent to the rest of the engine. So having a oil filter already full of oil means that your engine is going to get oil just about as soon as you start to run it. Now you don't have to do the tippy top. Just getting it good and full is a good idea. And then also I like to always get a little bit of oil and put it on the sealing ring here. Get this nice and lubricated too. That's always a good idea. This is going to allow you to be able to take it back off in the future whenever it ultimately decides it's going to get stuck. And last but not least, Bradley, you need to put this thing on hand tight only. Hand tight only. Hand tight only. Next up, let's go ahead and do the rest of the oil here. Go ahead and fill this puppy up. This particular truck takes 10 whole quarts. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. Next up, we're going to put some antifreeze in this thing. We're going to put just antifreeze in it right now. Oh no, I've got water. Never mind. Yeah, we're good to go. We're going to go and just put some water in it and some antifreeze. I've got the concentrated stuff and some distilled water. And that ought to fit the bill. I'm going to alternate pouring in concentrated stuff. You can see here that you have to add water to it. And I've got some cheap distilled water here. 88 cents a piece, not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the water just because it looks like it's a little bit easier to pour. And I'm going to alternate back and forth until this radiator is full. Oh, you know what? I messed up. I forgot to close the bottom valve. Whoopsie. That is a very important step, by the way. Make sure you close the bottom of your radiator before you start to add fluids and subsequently lose them. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Okay, the radiator is mostly full at the moment. Imagine we probably have to do the engine here, except one problem is that our engine leaks a bunch of diesel fluid, so we have to change those caps out next before we can even go forward. So I suppose let's go ahead and get to work on that. Come on now, get in there. I have to show you a really cool way I found to add water to this thing. I tried it just a moment ago just for giggles, and I just about blew my own mind there. Let's see if I can do this real quick here. Alright, so you add your water, give it a little swirl, get some sideways motion going. Now, unfortunately, mine's getting pretty full, so it might just be stuck. Yeah, so it stopped making water there. But that's simply because the thing is full. That's all there is to it at the moment. How cool is that, though? You saw how fast that moved, right? So we can twist this in. Doubt it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to make a mess is all. Dang it. Woohoo! Still got it. Alright, I lied. I'm going to go ahead and start this thing and move it around to the back because we can get our tools a little bit easier to do these little plugs here. But we are taking a risk of doing it, so, you know, there's that.